Australia.
Hi.
How you doing? Also like to welcome Jimmy Destry and Chris Stein from the band. There seems to be a lot of confusion amongst rock fans as to exactly what new wave is all about. There's one certain form of new wave coming out of the States and another form out of the UK. You know, what to you are the differences between the two?
I think there's more influences in the American new wave. It's like an assimilation of the last 20 years of radio. Whereas the English new wave, I think it's New York Dolls influenced.
It seems like, a lot of the new wave label has been coined and interpreted through the Sex Pistols, and there's a lot more bands than that, that have other songs that are, not very interesting.
Yeah. I think the U.S. New Wave is more a musical reaction than a political or sociological reaction. I think the British New Wave is political.
It all stems from the area you're in. Like New York City is basically a media center where everybody gets to grab in everything they've heard in the past number of years, like Clem said, and radio for the last 20 years and everything, and put it together and get their own mixture, have a larger digestive system for it. Where in England it's just a reaction from the situation and the dole and everything they complain about.
The actual term new wave has been bandied about a lot lately. A lot of bands have been put into that category, and I think to a certain extent the meaning of it has been lost. Like, how do you exactly define new wave?
Well, I actually think it's just a bunch of new bands all coming out at once. A lot of new blood.
Yeah.
People that weren't in the business before, most of them, and just coming out now, and they're making an impact because it's all snowballing, because it's more than one band. It's like, great amount of bands. Yeah. That's actually what new wave is, just a whole bunch of new bands. I don't think there's any one set definition for it besides that.
Any common denominator musically apart from the fact that they're all new bands?
No, not really.
I'd say just a reaction against bands like Led Zeppelin and Rod Stewart, Aside
Maybe,
from that,
yeah.
no other.
Maybe a little bit simpler music, less, I don't know, there's sort of like cliche tricks that bands have used, to stimulate responses from audiences, like hyped up guitar solos or drum solos.
Explosions.
And I see a lot less of that now.
Yeah. What are your own personal feelings about the amount of publicity that Deborah is getting compared to the rest of the band? Like, it's almost become Deborah, Harry, and Blondie as far as the press is concerned.
I'm a songwriter in the band. I write a lot of stuff, and we all make the same amount of bread, and any means to an end.
Yeah, well, obviously you all contribute, equal amounts or whatever,
Yeah.
right? But as far as the public image is concerned, Deborah's getting a really giant push at the moment.
Oh, it's sort of obvious. It's like Mick Jagger or something.
Sure,
Yeah.
she'll sell more records than either me or Chris would on T-shirts.
It's probably a pretty awkward question to answer, but how long do you think New Wave is going to last?
I'd say it's probably 10-year cycle, Like, people that are in bands now, they're probably, a certain amount of them will be around 10 years from now, I would think, if they don't all kill themselves first.
When all the preteens from this period grow up and start their bands, we'll have another 10-year cycle. Extra special new wave or something, family size.
I was just going to say, would you like to hazard a guess as to what way it's going to go?
Mellow acoustic acid rock.
That's
Mellow
his
acoustic
opinion.
acid
I don't
rock.
think so. I think it's going to be totally synthesized. It's going to be sort of computer control music.
Yeah.
Where the artist is going to just like sit behind a bank and do weird things.
No, I think that's the tail. I
Holograms
think that's
and
the tail end of this wave here.
No, I don't think so, really. Well, we could disagree for hours on that.
Yeah.